Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding that every limitation you believed about yourself had vanished, your finances expanded, your health restored, your relationships blossomed. What if I told you the reality you see right now is not fixed, but flexible? What if I told you that you are not just living in this reality, you are creating it, moment by moment, with every thought, every emotion, and every belief? This is the power of the quantum shift at its core. Quantum manifestation is not about forcing the universe to give you something, it's about aligning yourself with the version of reality where what you want already exists. The quantum field holds infinite versions of you: the broke you, the wealthy you, the healthy you, the tired you, the confident you. Each version already exists in potential. Your job is to shift your energy to match the frequency of the reality you want to experience. Science has already shown us, through quantum physics, that particles exist in a state of probability until they are observed. Your attention acts as the observer. Your beliefs act as the blueprint. When your focus, emotion, and belief align, you collapse the infinite possibilities into a single reality, the one you choose. This isn't magic, it's physics. The challenge is, most people unconsciously quantum shift every day, but into realities they don't want. They focus on fear, lack, and doubt, and their attention keeps collapsing realities where those things exist. Quantum shifting consciously is about choosing differently, training your mind and emotions to live in the reality you desire before it physically appears. Once you truly understand this, everything changes. You stop waiting for proof before you believe. You believe first, and the proof follows. You stop chasing results and start embodying the identity of the person who already has what you want. And when you shift your identity, reality must shift to match it. This is not philosophy. This is alignment with the deepest laws of creation. The instant you change your inner state, your outer world begins to rearrange itself, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. And the more you practice, the faster the shift becomes. You will no longer be a prisoner of circumstance. You will be the architect of your existence. The question is not whether quantum shifting works. The question is, will you take the leap and start creating on purpose? Reality is not the rigid, immovable structure we've been taught to believe it is. Most of us grew up thinking that life is a straight line, fixed by the events of the past and the limitations of the present. We've been told that what's real is only what we can touch, see, and measure. But quantum physics paints an entirely different picture. At the deepest level of existence, the building blocks of reality are not solid at all. They are patterns of energy existing in a state of possibility, a vast sea of potential outcomes waiting for something or someone to choose which one will come into form. Every version of your life you can imagine already exists in this field of possibilities. There's a version of you who is confident, abundant, and joyful. There's another version who feels stuck, anxious, or overwhelmed. There's a version who has achieved the dreams you've been chasing for years, and one who gave up long ago. These versions are not fantasy, they're all equally real in the quantum field. Which one you experience depends entirely on your perception, your focus, and the vibration you emit. Think of reality like a massive library. Each book in that library is a different storyline for your life, written in full detail. You cannot read every book at the same time. You pick one, and the story unfolds as you turn the pages. The book you choose is determined by what you believe to be true, what you expect, and what you focus on most. Most people are unaware they're even holding a book. They think the story they're reading is the only story available. But once you understand that there are infinite other books you could open, you realize that your current reality is just one version among endless options. You have the ability to put down the book you're reading and pick up a new one at any moment. The mechanism behind this lies in the fact that reality responds to the frequency you are broadcasting. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not just private inner experiences. They are signals sent into the quantum field. The field responds by showing you a version of reality that matches those signals. This is why two people can live in the same world, but have completely different experiences, because they are tuned to different frequencies. They're each reading a different book from the same library. When you hold a certain thought, with strong emotion and conviction, you begin to align with the version of yourself where that thought is already true. Your brain and nervous system start adapting to that reality, and the outer world begins shifting to reflect it. The problem is that most people unknowingly align with the realities they fear or don't want. They focus on lack, worry, and limitation. So they keep shifting into timelines where those things exist. Learning to quantum shift consciously means becoming aware of what you're focusing on and deliberately tuning your energy toward the version of reality you prefer, over and over, until it becomes your dominant state. Frequency is the invisible language through which reality communicates with you, and more importantly, through which you communicate with reality. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, and every belief you hold emits a vibrational signal into the quantum field. This signal is not symbolic, it is literal energy, measurable and real, resonating out into the universe. Just as a radio station broadcasts a specific frequency that can only be picked up by a receiver tuned to that station, you are constantly broadcasting a frequency that determines which version of reality you tune into. The experiences you have, the opportunities that appear, the people you meet, all of it is a match to the vibration you're emitting at any given moment. Most people assume reality happens randomly, as if life is a chaotic sequence of events outside their control. But in truth, the frequency you hold acts like a magnet, pulling in circumstances that mirror it. When you're living in a state of gratitude, love, and abundance, you naturally draw to yourself experiences that feel expansive and uplifting. On the other hand, when you're operating from fear, scarcity, and doubt, the field responds with situations that validate those states. It's not punishment or reward, it's resonance. The quantum field is impartial. It simply matches you with the frequency you send out, the same way a tuning fork will cause another tuning fork with the same pitch to vibrate in harmony. Your frequency is shaped by a combination of factors: the thoughts you habitually think, the emotions you repeatedly feel, and the beliefs you've accepted as truth. Many of these are running unconsciously, which is why people often feel stuck. They're broadcasting a vibration based on old patterns, not realizing they can change it. Shifting your frequency means becoming aware of what you're transmitting, and intentionally choosing thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that match the reality you want to experience. This doesn't mean faking positivity or ignoring challenges. It means deliberately cultivating an inner state that reflects where you want to go, not where you've been. Imagine that reality is like an enormous orchestra, playing countless symphonies at once. Each symphony represents a different reality you could experience. You can't hear all of them, you can only hear the one you're tuned to. If you want to hear a different song, you don't yell at the orchestra to change. You adjust your own instrument to match the melody you want. In the same way, if you want to experience a reality where you're healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled, you have to adjust your inner frequency to match the emotional and mental state of someone who is already living that reality. The moment your frequency aligns with it, you start to notice doors opening, synchronicities appearing, and events lining up in ways that feel almost impossible to explain through logic alone. In the quantum world, nothing exists as a fixed object until it is observed. Particles remain in a state of probability, existing in multiple potential states at once, until the act of observation causes them to collapse into a single reality. This principle, known as the observer effect, is one of the most mind-bending concepts in physics, yet it holds profound implications for how we create our lives. The moment you place your attention on something, whether it's a problem, a desire, or a random thought, you are, in effect, choosing which version of reality you will experience. Attention is not passive, it is a creative force. It acts as the trigger that turns the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into the tangible events and circumstances of your life. The fascinating and often overlooked truth is that your mind is constantly observing, and therefore constantly collapsing possibilities into outcomes. Most people are not deliberate about where they place their attention, so they unconsciously focus on situations they fear, outcomes they don't want, or memories of the past that keep them anchored in an undesired state. This repeated observation keeps collapsing realities that match those thoughts and feelings, creating a loop where the outer world reflects the inner focus, which then reinforces the same focus again. Breaking this loop requires the conscious decision to direct your attention toward the reality you actually want to live in. Observation is more than just looking at something. It involves engaging with it mentally and emotionally. The stronger the focus and the deeper the emotional involvement, the more quickly and solidly that version of reality becomes your experience. If you continuously observe yourself as someone struggling, the quantum field keeps providing you with evidence to confirm that identity. But if you begin observing yourself as someone capable, successful, and aligned with your goals, the field starts to collapse. Outcomes consistent with that image. Your internal movie begins to rewrite itself based on the scenes you choose to watch over and over in your mind. It's important to understand that the quantum field does not differentiate between what you want and what you don't want. It simply responds to the frequency and intensity of your observation. Thinking constantly about avoiding failure is still an observation of failure, which aligns you with realities where failure exists. On the other hand, consistently visualizing and feeling the reality you prefer is an observation of success, aligning you with the timeline where success is real. This is why mental rehearsal and visualization are so powerful. They allow you to observe a desired reality in your mind until it becomes the dominant possibility. When you master where your attention goes, you begin to realize that you're not merely responding to life, you are selecting it. Every moment is a choice point in the quantum field, and your observation is the selection tool. The clearer, more consistent, and more emotionally charged your observation is, the faster that version of reality becomes solid and undeniable in your physical experience. Your identity is the most powerful filter through which you experience reality, and it acts as the master key to shifting into the life you desire. Everything you believe about yourself, what you're capable of, what you deserve, what is normal for you forms the framework that your subconscious uses to interpret and respond to the world. This identity isn't just a mental concept. It's an energetic signature, a vibration that communicates to the quantum field who you are, and therefore, what realities you are eligible to experience. The quantum field doesn't give you what you want in the sense of wishful thinking, it gives you what matches your state of being. If your state of being is rooted in the identity of someone who struggles, then even if you consciously want abundance, you will keep encountering circumstances that reflect struggle. Most people try to change their lives by working on the outside, chasing opportunities, forcing results, or waiting for circumstances to shift before they allow themselves to feel different. But the quantum model works the other way around. Reality shifts from the inside out. The moment you change your self-concept, the way you think, feel, and act automatically begins to align with the version of you who already has the life you want. This alignment sends a new frequency into the quantum field, and that frequency pulls in the people, opportunities, and events that match it. Think of identity as the role you are playing in the movie of your life. If you're cast as the struggling artist or the overworked employee, the scenes that unfold will naturally fit that role. But the moment you decide to take on the role of successful creator or confident leader, the script must change to match the new character you are embodying. The shift is not in pretending or faking it, it's in feeling and acting as if that version of you is already real. When you hold that state consistently, reality has no choice but to reorganize around your new identity. This is why affirmations, visualization, and mental rehearsal are so effective when done correctly. They are tools to install a new identity at the subconscious level. The more vividly and emotionally you step into the reality of already having it, the more natural it becomes to operate from that state. Your decisions change, your habits change, and your expectations shift. Over time, this new identity stops feeling like a hopeful fantasy and starts feeling like who you truly are. And when your inner sense of self reaches that level of certainty, the external proof begins to appear with surprising speed. Identity shifts are powerful because they bypass the need for constant willpower. You no longer have to force yourself to act a certain way, because your actions naturally flow from who you believe yourself to be. When you are that person on the inside, you think differently, you speak differently, you carry yourself differently, and you naturally gravitate toward choices that reinforce that version of you. Shifts in reality can happen in an instant when your belief, emotion, and focus come into perfect alignment. Most people think transformation is a slow, step-by-step process that takes years of effort, but in the quantum model, time is not the determining factor, alignment is. The moment your inner state matches the frequency of the reality you want to experience, the quantum field responds immediately. This is because reality is not bound by the linear rules we've been taught. It is fluid, adaptable, and capable of reorganizing itself faster than logic can comprehend. When you enter a state of total certainty, when your mind and body fully believe that the desired reality is already true, the shift is instantaneous. These moments often feel like sudden breakthroughs, but in truth, they are the result of reaching a tipping point where your energy is no longer split between conflicting beliefs. Before that moment, a part of you might want the change, but another part doubts it, fears it, or believes it's far away. As long as those inner conflicts exist, the quantum field receives mixed signals, and the shift remains incomplete. But when all aspects of your being, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the emotional body are in agreement, the signal you send out is pure and undiluted, and the response is immediate. This is why powerful changes can happen after a single moment of clarity, a deep meditation, an intense emotional release, or a vivid visualization. In that instant, you stop questioning whether it's possible and step fully into the experience of it already being real. The brain begins firing neural pathways that match the new state. The nervous system recalibrates to it, and the body starts producing the chemistry of someone already living that reality. From the quantum perspective, you've already arrived. So the physical world simply follows suit. Sometimes these instant shifts appear subtle at first, small coincidences, unexpected conversations, or sudden ideas that lead you in a new direction. Other times, they're dramatic, such as meeting the perfect opportunity out of nowhere, or having a long-standing obstacle dissolve overnight. The key is that the change happens the moment your alignment is complete, not when the physical evidence shows up. The outer manifestation is just the delayed reflection of the inner shift. The more you practice aligning your belief, emotion, and focus, the faster and more easily these shifts occur. Over time, you stop needing proof before you feel the way you want to feel. You begin generating the state of being you desire on command, without waiting for conditions to give you permission. This ability to embody the new reality first is what makes instant shifts possible, because the quantum field is always responding to who you are being right now, not to who you were yesterday or who you hope to be tomorrow.